Welcome to another video where I teach you how to become the CEO of your company. If you found this video, probably you're looking for growth strategies, you're looking to understand how to grow or how to make those foundations so your business can scale without overwhelming. Most of the entrepreneurs that I help know they have to delegate, but just only thinking about it gets them overwhelmed because they think, oh my God, I have to train this person. Who am I going to give these tasks to? Are they prepared? Are they ready? Are they going to be able? And this video will help you understand how you can do this and having the outcome that you want. Let's dive into it. I know that thinking about delegation makes you think, oh my God, delegating this will take me more time than just finishing the task. But honestly, that might be the truth for one thing, but what about all the other things that are repeating tasks that you can already give to someone else? Let's say you try to delegate with Steve. Steve is a team member that has a couple months with you and has been a lifesaver. He is good in his job. He understands your vision. He understands things almost without explaining too much, and you decide to delegate 2 tasks to this person. You have a problem with some terrible comments that some clients have said about a product, and you go and you were investigating what batch of product was it, if there was something wrong with it, but that was taking too long for you. And you also need to follow up on some vendors because you need to buy this new cutting machine that will help you be better in your production process, but you cannot follow up with all the details. And emails come back and forward, and it takes you a lot of time to answer. So the vendor also takes a long time to answer, so this is taking forever. So you decide that Steve is a good match. He is in production anyway, so he's going to understand. You go, you ask Steve, you tell him the situation, and he goes and says, yeah, I will take them. Several weeks later, clients are more unsatisfied now. Before it was just like 2 clients or 3, now it's like 10, 15. So you go with him, you go and you ask what happened with all of these things, and he tells you, well, the vendor that I was following up never answered, so to be honest, I just forgot about it. And then about the clients, he says, oh, I went to see the production batch and there was nothing wrong with it, so I just thought maybe the clients were exaggerating. It was so obvious. Number 1, if the vendor is not answering quickly enough, you escalate. You try to find other vendors. That was obvious for you. And about the client's claims, you ask, what batch did you go and investigate? And he tells you a number. It turns out it wasn't that one. He was confused and he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I thought it was this one. And it's like, isn't it obvious that if one appears to be perfect, maybe I'm looking at the wrong one? So these things seem obvious, right? And then it becomes so frustrating and you say, okay, I moved 1 month into this, I forgot about it. I totally trusted him, and you fall into the frustration delegation cycle. The thing is that what was obvious to you was invisible to him. Maybe he was very smart and very capable, but he didn't have all the inputs. He didn't have everything clear enough to know what to do in case these different situations came up. I understand your frustration because it has happened to me. I have built businesses, I have been manager, I have had assistants, and once I have asked assistants to help me with something and they have turned over something that had nothing to do with what I asked. And the worst part can be like, oh my God, but this person has experience. This person is studying this subject. This person knows, has been with me. One time it was like someone that had been with me for 2 years. They already know everything about me. How do I handle these things? Why cannot this person just take the responsibility and deliver? And I have the answer for that. The situation is that they cannot take ownership because they are not clear enough. And yes, I've also thought like, is it because they're millennials or centennials? I'm a millennial, but is it because they're centennials? Is it because they don't care? Is it because they don't like me? I mean, they don't care about the business. All they want is their paycheck. I don't know. Yes, all of those thoughts have come to me. But after advising more than 300 small growing businesses like yours, I have understood that sometimes your business grows so fast that you cannot keep up with the growth and the structure. So let me help you to delegate in a way where you are assured that you expressed everything that you needed before time comes and you feel like everything didn't move. When you see a task, you can often sense its importance because you already understand in your mind the result you want, why this result matters, how it connects with other work, how urgent it is, which decisions can be made, what could happen if nobody follows through, because you are the business owner and maybe you don't have those things written down, right? But there are in your mind, you have a network of connections that help you because you know the A to Z of this business. So we need to download all of this information that you already have and connect in your brain to a way that all your team can understand and take ownership and actually feel excited about it. What I say is the vision that you hold has to come down so we can move together towards the same direction. Well, maybe we can use the example of the best leader of all, Jesus. This delegation situation really reminds me of the Gospels time where Jesus gets a little frustrated and tells his disciples, until when? He says, how long, how many times do I have to explain this? Because, sometimes we get frustrated and we are like, how many times am I going to have to explain this person this? And oh my God, I just realized that I have been that disciple too. Like, God probably is like, oh my God, darling, my beautiful daughter, how many times I'm going to explain this to you? But so we have been that person too. It's good to understand that we need to have everything outlaid for us so it's easier. So let me help you with that. Something about Jesus' response challenges me. He did not decide that developing people was a mistake. He did not conclude that he should do everything himself forever. He corrected his disciples. He helped them understand what was missing and continued developing them. Being a leader means having patience, yes. And being a leader means teaching others, but also it's good for you to learn how to do these things without overwhelming and without sounding like the terrible, horrible boss that you probably once had and you don't want to be this person. We all had that boss. Okay, let me help you with 6 questions that can help you before delegating. And this will prepare you and start to help you understand the workflows of your company, understand the people accountability, and the rhythms probably. In the case you still don't have like an operational system, this will start to help you having it. The first question is about outcome. You need to ask yourself, what result is this person responsible for producing? For example, in the case of following up with a vendor, this is an activity. Obtain 3 comparable quotes for the new machine by Friday so we can select a supplier. That is an outcome. The second question is about who is accountable for and who owns this activity. So when you have something that everybody owns and you cannot select clearly who is accountable for the activity, then nobody owns it. The third question is about priority. How important is this relative to the person's other responsibilities? Yes, in this question, in this area, you need to help this person a little bit and together organize and understand what is this person doing so you can see when and where and how you're going to help him prioritize. Because you know what? If the person has other tasks, this person may think, I have all of these tasks and you're asking me this, now I have to drop this and take this, and what do I do? And sometimes people don't feel so free to say, look, if I take this, then I have to drop this other thing, because they feel that you're gonna think that they're not capable, right? So they're not going to be so open to tell you, you know what, I have 5 tasks, and if I take this one, I have to drop this other one. Depending on what culture do you work with, because, in European cultures, people are more open to tell you, this is what I'm doing, tell me and help me. In other cultures, maybe more hustle kind of cultures, they're not going to tell you, and they're going to receive this new task and feel some frustration for themselves. The 4th question is about process. In this one, you need to lay out the most important steps that this person needs to follow in order to have the outcome that you need, or the outcome that the company needs. And you can also lay out the resources that you were using, or this other person that is delegating was using, the ideas that you have, but also leave some freedom to let the person do it as they see fit. Because it's not about micromanaging the process, okay? It's just helping this person understanding how it has to be done and letting the person do it. I worked as a business consultant for over 10 years, and I had a boss that was called Lucia. She was a natural born leader. She was really good, and I loved how she led us. When she was delegating tasks, it never felt like you have to do this for this date with this process and I'll talk to you next Monday. No, it always felt like I am supporting her. I am going to be part of this beautiful process that we're doing together. And I've thought about how did she achieve that in me? And now I remember that all she did was lay out how she did it. For example, she would delegate a campaign, a process. She would only say, like, this is what we need to do. These are the dates. And I think that you're the best match for this because you have the background in marketing. What do you think? How do you feel about this? Obviously, in her mind, she already knew that I was the one that had to do it. I had the marketing experience. So, of course, but she made me feel like I was choosing, okay? It's not that she was manipulating me, okay? Don't get me wrong. But she made it in a way so I felt like I was being proactive. And I said, yeah, I can take it. Of course, I will do it gladly. I will help you with this. And then she would go, okay, these are the things that I need. This is these are the dates that we need this. I would do it like this. Or she would say, in the past, or when I was doing this, I used to do A, B, and C. Maybe it helps you. And she would send me some templates or something that she was using. And then we had a weekly meeting where we followed up on our contributions as a team. Everybody had their own contributions, of course. Believe me, I never once felt she was micromanaging. And that's exactly what I want for you and your team, okay? The 5th question goes around authority. It's important to understand what this person can decide. So you can ask yourself, what can this person decide? And when should they involve you? Or when they should escalate it? And when it should be like, yeah, you can decide. In the example of Steve and the batch that had problems, you could say something like, okay, Steve, if you have some ideas on how we can compensate the clients, talk to me. The 6th question goes around the follow-up, the rhythm where you're going to see the advance and how is it moving forward. Every company has different rhythms, okay? If you don't already have like a rhythm where you have a weekly meeting or every 2 other weeks with your key people, then I really, really invite you to start thinking of how you can do this. These meetings are not to see problems like, okay, this is the problem, and then we're going to find the perfect solution in the meeting. No, the meetings are to know how things are moving forward, okay? They are not meant to solve each issue in each meeting, because the problem about meetings is that you can be meeting-holic. I don't know, is that a word? I don't know. Like, you can be addicted to do meetings. We are sick with so many meetings, and that is like something to avoid, okay? As a CEO, you do need to have the follow-up mapped out. You need to see how the company is advancing, and with your team members, with the key people that hold the strategy or hold the most important activities that will make your company move forward, you do need meetings, okay? And that's exactly what I teach you to do. In the case that you still don't have a system, in the case that you still don't know how to do that, I teach you to have the exact rhythm for your company, okay? So in case you really want to learn a system that will help you bring everything that is in your brain, your vision, your structure, your strategy, or that you probably already have in paper or something, and create the exact rhythms that your team is going to use so you can have this all mapped out. And believe me, that will take years of overwhelm of you, and it will found the pillars for you to scale. I have helped more than 300 companies grow with different strategies, and I have understood that the best way to grow, no matter what strategy, probably you already chose it or you haven't chosen it. Now with ChatGPT, you can help yourself a lot, thinking about what to do to grow. But the most important thing is to be able to get those ideas that are in your head in a flow, into a workflow, into a process. And that's exactly what an operational process does. And that's what I'm teaching. If your vision, priorities, decisions, and follow-up are still concentrated inside your head, this is the work that I help Christian entrepreneurs do. And why I say Christians, of course, this is for anyone. Through my guided implementation program, we built a God-centered operation system for your company. And yes, it's God-centered because for a while now, I felt called to build a business that is God-centered, that is centered in biblical foundations. And why? Because I myself was looking for God-centered business advices. Sometimes we separate, not that we separate our life completely as Christians, but like we really need some guidance through the Bible or the word of the Lord, because we want to make our life a prayer. And I hadn't been able to do that. So I was looking for this information and I found a lot. So I'm starting and I'm doing it with you. I'm not going to tell you, oh, I'm perfect. I am the perfect biblical founder of business. No, of course, I am growing and learning with you by my side. But yes, if you are a Christian and you're looking for someone that shares your values and wants to have the growth that the Lord wants for you, you can continue listening my videos, because I will bring the word of the Lord every time more and more into this whole system, because I truly feel like He's talking. And I know this sounds a little, maybe for some people, exaggerated, but like I really feel like He's asking me to help people systemize their life. Doing this system is not so you can become dependent on me, okay? The idea is to create the organization that you dream and stop feeling overwhelmed and stop feeling that the business depends on you or on me as your advisor. So let's do a little recap of what we learned today. When delegated work comes back to you, don't think immediately, I'm going to stop delegating, this doesn't work for me, or I'm just going to hire somebody like Anna and she will take care of it. First, examine whether you transfer the 6 conditions of ownership: a clear outcome, one accountable owner, an understood priority, enough process and context, appropriate decision-making authority, a consistent follow-up rhythm. Your team cannot reproduce connections that only exist in your head. If you only had to take one thing from this video, please think about Jesus' leadership and the way He was molding the disciples. You can tell them what is the outcome that you want them to have, and you can give them ideas on how you have done it. So no more micromanagement, no more overwhelming, and no more endless meetings in disorder, only seeing problems and solving them in the meeting. You need a rhythm, a system to take your vision and put it in all the departments and areas and key people so they can follow up and they move. You all together move towards the same direction. And now you'll see that it's not because they are centennials and they don't care, okay? I don't know. Maybe they do or maybe they don't. They see life in a different way. But you get what I'm saying. You will be less overwhelmed. If you feel ready to build the structure that your business needs, feel free to apply to my mentorship where I teach you to do this. in a God-centered way. And if you want to continue to learn biblical principles for your business, follow me and subscribe so you can know when you're going to get these new videos. I am posting once a week, and everything has to do with structure and creating and building the foundations to scale your business. I'm Ana Penados. I help business owners that are growing so fast that need organization, and I help them build the structure that their business needs with an operational system that is God-centered and help your business stop dependent on you. Till next time. Bye.